Hello, hello. Welcome to today's live YouTube lesson. I'm Vanessa and welcome to the Speak English with Vanessa YouTube page. I'm so glad that you're taking time out of your busy day to learn English with me and with our community. This is excellent. Today we're going to be talking about some phrasal verbs, but we're not going to talk about just a list of phrasal verbs. We're going to use them to talk about the past because it's the end of the year. It's the end of 2016. We have 11 more days until the new year. So it's a good time to reflect and think about the past. So let me help you today with some phrasal verbs that we would naturally use to talk about the past. If you are new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Have you downloaded my free end of the year gift? Today we're celebrating the end of the year. So I hope that you have a chance to download my free guide. It's called Top 3 Tips because in all of December, I have been making videos about top 3 tips for grammar, top 3 tips for learning vocabulary, top 3 tips for your fluency. And in the free end of the year guide, I have written all of those ideas and added some resources so that you can really remember them and use them. Put them on your wall, put them under your pillow, use them and keep it in mind throughout the next year. So if you are joining me live, welcome. Let me know where you're from. We've got people from Maggie from Argentina. Excellent. Basri from Indonesia. Betty from Taiwan. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I didn't tell you how you can download the free guide. I'm sorry. It's the morning for me. I have morning brain. So you can download the top 3 tips guide in the description of this video. There is a link, speakenglishwithvanessa.com/top3, the number 3, and you can download this guide. It's in the description of this video. I'm sure that you'll like it, and it's a good reminder to help you know what should I do next. Oh, we've got Maurice from Colombia, Jean from Taiwan, Valentin from Argentina as well, Usman, Saudi Arabia, Paulo in Brazil, hello. Default from Spain, excellent. Nazar in the Ukraine, we are an international group today. And if you can't watch the live video and you'd like to watch the replay, or you'd like to join another live lesson, they are always on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Eastern Time is New York Standard Time. So right now it is 9 a.m. for me. Maybe for Edgar in Brazil, it's a little bit closer to 12 o'clock maybe. Hoa in Vietnam, it's the evening for you, I think. And in St. Petersburg, maybe it's the afternoon for you. So I'm trying to find a time that's good for everyone. Are you ready to talk about phrasal verbs? Well, first of all, let's look back on 2016. This is the first phrasal verb that I want to share with you today, but let's use it in a complete sentence. Let's think about some positive things that happened. Maybe it's positive things that happened in English, like I learned a lot of phrasal verbs this year, or I got to talk with a native speaker this year. Let's look back on 2016. So I'm going to write this here on my clipboard, and now it'll be your turn to use this. So let's say, looking back on 2016 was a great thing that happened. And the second part of your sentence, this part here, it can be pretty different from mine. This is just a sample. You might say, looking back on 2016, if we want to have an ing here, finding Vanessa's live lessons was a great thing that happened. Looking back on 2016, going hiking every month was a great thing that happened to me. What was something that was great or wonderful, exciting that happened to you? Oh, Chuyan says, when I look back on 2016, I have a lot of unforgettable things that happened. Oh, that's excellent. Unforgettable things. Perfect. I think each year it seems to pass by pretty quickly, but in reality, there are a lot of things that happen each year. So just to let you know, the phrasal verb is here. Look back on. Look back on. So we could use this exactly like Chuyan says, when I look back on 2016, or we could say looking back on 2016. And this means you're not looking back with your eyes. We can't, at least yet, not in science, we can't look back into the past with our eyes, but mentally. You can think about, you can reflect, you can remember 2016. So you are mentally looking back. And this really means like reflecting. Reflecting, looking back on the past. Oh, Alper says, looking back on 2016, bicycle riding was a great thing that happened. Oh, you went bicycle riding. Excellent. Activities are always great memories. Oh, Douglas says, looking back on 2016, finding the Fearless Fluency Club was the best thing that happened to me. Wonderful. Wow, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smiley faces. Must be pretty happy for you. I'm so glad. If you also would like to join our Fearless Fluency Club, there is a link in the description of this video. You can join me and Douglas in this wonderful community. Oh, Charles says, looking back on 2016, I have many things to say, but suddenly I can't say anything. It is hard to reflect and look back because there are a lot of things that happen each year, so it might be a little overwhelming. Hector says, looking back on 2016, I improved my conversation skills. Looking back on 2016, I improved my conversation skills. Or we could say, looking back on 2016, improving my conversation skills was a great thing that happened. Excellent, that's great news. So if you have any tips, how did you improve your conversation skills? Let us know. I'm sure other people are also curious. Yuri says, looking back on 2016, finding your channel, Vanessa, was a great thing that happened. Oh, wonderful. That is beautiful news. I'm trying to make the best material for you, so I'm glad to know that you enjoy it, Yuri. Betty says, looking back on 2016, speaking English confidently was a great thing that happened. Oh, we've got a lot of ideas about English, improving conversation skills, joining the course, finding your channel. Beautiful. Michael says, looking back on 2016, Learning Android programming was a very productive thing that I did. Oh, learning programming. Yes, so this is getting ready for your future. Oh, Erin says, looking back on 2016, finding the great teacher Vanessa was a wonderful thing that happened. Excellent. Oh, Navjot did something physically healthy. Looking back on 2016, joining a gym. Joining a gym was a great thing that happened. So as you noticed here, we used this ing here, ing as the subject, because sometimes we talked about this last month in the Fearless Fluency Club, but sometimes words that look like a verb, such as running. Usually we say, I like running. It's a verb. But in this situation, it's the subject of the sentence. So we put it at the beginning. Running was. It becomes the noun. It becomes the subject of the sentence. English is pretty cool like that, huh? We can use ing for nouns as well. So we have looking back, running was. Thank you all for using this sentence structure so that we can really repeat it. Oh, Fowler says, hi, I'm from Brazil. Hello. I'm glad you're here. Marco says, looking back on 2016, learning was great for me. I have been studying English for the last 6 months. Great, Marcos. Keep it up. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Harold said, looking back on 2016, I was so shy to speak in English. I hope that for you in 2017, you'll be able to feel a little less shy, a little more confident. It's a step-by-step process. It doesn't happen in one day. Don't worry. Rasta, I'm glad you're here. Excellent. Oh, Raleigh says, looking back on 2016, I improved my English skills with you. And this is another great way we could use the second part of this sentence. I'll write it here. So here's the first part. Looking back on 2016, I improved, this is just an example from Raleigh. I improved my English skills. So here we're not using ing again. We're just using a completely different verb in the past tense. I improved. You've got lots of choices. In fact, it's quite flexible, but I just wanted to show you some other ways we could say it. Oh, Hondu says, looking back on 2016, I met the best teacher. Wow. Oh, hello from Spain, from Beijing. Great, we've got other friends joining us. Thu from Vietnam. Wow. Oh, you guys are so nice. Martiniano has a wonderful compliment for our community. Looking back on 2016, I've been noticing that there's no better teacher than you. Wow. Well, I promise that I don't come here just to get compliments from you, but I appreciate it. And this is good motivation to continue, to keep it up, to wake up and make these live lessons for you. Greetings, Carlos from Peru. Glad you're here. Oh, Ali says, looking back on 2016, I tried different jobs. So maybe you're trying different jobs that are good for you or trying to see what's a good fit. Emmanuel says, looking back on 2016, doing a Reiki course was a great thing that happened. Oh, so are you interested in practicing Reiki? Are you going to have a studio or help other people with it? Or was it just for yourself so that you could improve or learn a new skill? Oh, Christian says, I improved my English with your videos. Wonderful, wonderful. Alex, welcome from Sao Paulo. Glad you're here. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful sentences about this. Tina says, looking back on 2016, I went to the US to study English. Awesome. What a great opportunity. That is perfect. Perfect for you. So I wanted to quickly share one more phrasal verb that we can talk about. It's in the title of today's live lesson. Does anyone know which phrasal verb I used in the title today? It's 2 words. This phrasal verb is 3, looking back on or look back on, but I use another phrasal verb in our title here. Oh, Navjot says, go over. Yes, go over. Go over is the phrasal verb. And does anyone know, what does go over mean? If I said, I'm going over the river, this is physically going over the river. I'm walking probably on a bridge over the river. That's one meaning. I am going over the river. But if we're going to mentally think about this, Ali has the great answer here. He says, analyze. Yes. Navjot says, examine. Beautiful. This is the idea that I meant for this. Let's analyze. Let's examine 2016. So as we examine 2016, as we go over 2016, we can think about the future as well, because the next year is coming pretty soon. So it's a tradition to think about, what am I going to do in this new year? But it's also valuable to go over things that happened in the past year. Maybe some great things happened that you wanted to continue. Like a lot of you said you have improved your English, or you started exercising, or you found a new job. Some good things happened in the past year. So it's important to go over the past. It's just as important to go over the past as it is important to think about the future and plan for the future. We can learn from good things, learn from bad things, and hopefully improve for 2017. So this is the sentence that I'd like to share. Navjot has it right here. It says, we went over, I'm using this in the past tense here. Hi, Jean-Jacques, welcome, glad you're here. We went over some memories from 2016. So we can use this. We went over some memories. We reflected on some memories. We thought about some memories. So this is something that we have already done. We already went over 2016, the good things that happened in 2016. We went over some memories from 2016. So today I would like to have a sentence that we all say together using this phrasal verb, and maybe we can connect our first phrasal verb as well. I want to help you say it out loud because we can work those muscles, and it's really valuable to hear your own voice using English. So let's say one sentence all together. If you're in Poland, if you're in Brazil, if you're in Montreal, if you're in Indonesia, wherever you are, let's say this all around the world. Let me think of a good sentence here using both of these. All right, let's just use them in the same sentence. The sentence is something that I recommend for you. Last week, I did this with my husband. I took my notebook and I wrote down some thoughts from the last year. So I already did this. And I recommend it for you. So let's say this sentence all together. I will go over and look back on 2016. I will go over and look back on 2016. This means maybe I will just take a walk in my neighborhood and think about this past year. What were some good things? What were some bad things? What can I improve for the next year? I will go over and look back on 2016. I will go over and look back on 2016. We have started to do this together today. We've talked about your travels, your English, things that you've done, but it's important to do this just yourself, even if it's only 5 minutes. As you're eating breakfast, look back on, go over 2016. Thank you, Ali, for writing this sentence. Yes, I will go over and look back on 2016. I will go over and look back on 2016. It's important mentally and it's important for improving in the future because this is the third to last lesson before the end of the year. We have second to last. Next week, we'll be talking about Christmas because I will be at my husband's parents' house, my in-laws' house. So we will be there and I can tell you about some of our traditions. I'll ask you about some of your ideas. And then the next lesson will be the new year. So we won't look back on 2016. We will look forward to 2017. So this is our chance. This is our final chance of the year to go over and look back on 2016. Now that you said it out loud, I hope that for you, you will do it. You won't just say it, but you'll do it. Even just a couple minutes, being able to think about, what did I do? What didn't I do? What are some beneficial things that happened? It's kind of surprising if you feel like you're a negative person. Maybe you feel like at the beginning, I can't think of any really positive things that happened, but the more you think, there are some things. Or if you're positive, it's good also to think about some negative things that happened because you don't want to repeat those for the next year. So let's go over and look back on 2016 after this lesson. Take some time. Maybe you could even write a little list in English about the good things that happened, the things that you learned. It's a great chance to go over and look back on it. Oh, Twafik has a great idea. I will go over and look back on your videos. So if you learned something this year, go over it. Look back on this. Try to remember those ideas. So I hope for you today this lesson was useful. You had a chance to repeat these phrasal verbs. They might not be new phrasal verbs for you, but we use them a lot. So I hope that today our repetition from your great sentences was useful. I hope that they will stick in your memory. That's useful. Help them to stay in your head so that you can use them in the future. If someone asks, what are you doing? You could say, oh, I'm looking back on 2016. I'm going over 2016, and they'll say, oh, wow, you speak English. That's a phrasal verb. You got it. So I hope that this will be something that you can use in the future as well and prepare you for the next year. So thank you everyone for joining me. Feel free to download my free end of the year gift, this top 3 guide. The link is in the description below. You can print it out, keep it by your computer, keep it in your kitchen, keep it in your refrigerator, keep it wherever you want so that you can remember these top 3 tips in the guide. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jean-Jacques. Thank you, Michelin. Thank you, Douglas. And Ruth and Aaron, thanks for joining me. glad you're here. Have a beautiful week. Stay warm if you're in a cold place. Pretty cold here, but not too bad actually. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you the next time on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, EST, New York Standard Time. See you later, everyone. Bye.